everyone, it's Debra Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. Ageless longevity secrets for your brain, body, and future. The Awake Method, because it's time for all of us to wake up, and more. And I am coming to you live from beautiful San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, where we're about to celebrate next weekend, de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. So I have my beautiful marigolds ready for the celebration, and everybody's getting all jazzed up around here for our celebration of our departed ancestors. And if you remember, last week my topic was, I think the title was There is Nothing Wrong with Joy. And I even quoted from the angels who speak through the wonderful Ann Albers, who said, I have it over here, who said, allow yourself to feel good in a world where so many don't. You need not feel guilty for the things you enjoy, the moments when you relax, and the times when you don't want to do what others think you should do. We encourage you always to reach for what feels best in a given moment. We work with all of you to find the path of most joy or at least comfort in any given moment. We know your happiness is a vibrational gift to the world. Wow, your happiness is a vibrational gift to the world. And I know I'm not the only one who's been feeling that the world's gotten a little cray-cray lately. There's uncertainty everywhere you look, the economy and politics on our planet. Technology is so advancing so fast that it's dizzying. And people are having a hard time finding jobs. Two of my godchildren today actually contacted me because they're having a hard time finding jobs and they wanted some advice. And the cost of living keeps increasing for them, for all of us. Healthcare going up 33%. Come on. And so many are just struggling to stay grounded and hopeful. So it's no wonder that anxiety and depression and even loneliness are at historic highs right now. In fact, a recent Gallup poll said that fewer people today say that they're, quote, very satisfied with their lives than at any point in recent history. And yet, in the midst of all this, I just read some really good news and an article in the Washington Post by a brilliant man named Dana Milbank. And it actually echoes exactly what I've been teaching in Yes to Success for the past 45 years. But it's so cool that there was a study. It was, in fact, a 6-year study out of Cornell University that uncovered a surprisingly, not to us, but to most people, surprisingly simple way to bring more happiness and meaning into our lives. And it's something we could all do very easily every day. So, this study was led by psychologist Anthony Burrow from Cornell's Purpose and Identity Process Lab. And he and his team invited 1,000 high school and college students to take part in what they called the Contribution Project. You know where this is going. Each participant was randomly selected to receive a gift of $400 and to use it in a way that mattered to them. Not just go out and have a nice dinner, but something that deeply mattered to them. It could benefit their community, it could benefit their family, or even themselves, as long as it was something that they felt was meaningful. So, meaningful is the operative word here. Okay. So 8 weeks later, they measured how everyone was doing emotionally and mentally. And the results, the students who received the funds and used them for a meaningful purpose showed dramatically higher levels of well-being, belonging, and even physical health than the students who did not. They felt more purposeful, more useful, more connected, and yes, happier. In fact, in Burroughs' study, those with the fewest resources reported the biggest psychological boost from making contributions. And Dr. Burroughs said something really profound. I mean, everything he said was profound, but I pulled out a quote here. He said, if you want to really contribute to someone's life, Invite them to think about a contribution they want to make that they can be passionate about, whether it's helping a friend who's struggling, writing the book that's been floating around in their brains, feeding the homeless, and help them make that contribution. And then you will greatly contribute to their happiness and to yours. In other words, when we stop focusing on how to feel happy and instead focus on how to contribute, then happiness becomes a natural byproduct. And it's not just theory, it's backed by study after study after study. There was another psychologist, Todd Kashdan from George Mason University, and he found that when people with anxiety began focusing on a purpose, even a small one, they became more confident, more peaceful, less anxious, and more fulfilled. He said, this is a paraphrase, but he says something like, maybe what we all need to do is stop obsessing about what's going on between our two ears and start asking, what do I want to do with my limited time today or in this life? Okay, and of course, again, this isn't new wisdom. Aristotle said that the good life is one lived with purpose. I know you've heard me quote this a million times. Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. And of course, I've done entire Success Saturdays on Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camp, who said, happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. In other words, happiness isn't something we chase, it's something that follows us when we live a life of meaning, purpose, and contribution. And modern research is now proving what these sages already knew. People who live with purpose have lower levels of stress, lower levels of inflammation, as we talk about in my ageless course that I teach, of course, with the wonderful Ronnie Newman, less cardiovascular disease, slower cognitive decline, and even longer lifespans. And they're not necessarily people who appear successful in the world's eyes, but they're people who focus on others and how they can contribute. Personally, I frequently do a reality check and ask myself, am I truly making the contribution I came here to make? Am I truly living my purpose? And if I don't feel like the answer is yes, I always course correct. And again, the truth is our purpose doesn't have to be grand or world changing. You don't have to be on the cover of Time magazine to be happy. It simply might be doing a random act of kindness for your elderly neighbor, or listen with full attention to a friend who's hurting, or volunteering for an organization that feeds and houses the homeless. God knows the world needs us doing those things right now more than ever. And as Burroughs said, it doesn't take a major life changing allocation of our time or energy. It's often just something small, but it still makes you happy. And in the same article, the author quotes psychologist Kendall Cotton was her middle name. I think it was Bronk, B-R-O-N-K. Yes, Kendall Cotton Bronk of Claremont Graduate University, who also says the real path to happiness is focusing on others, on how you can contribute to others and their well-being. What we need to be focusing on is how we can contribute in meaningful ways, and often that will lead to the happiness that you all are seeking. And then she said to parents, parents can use these techniques to develop a sense of purpose in their own kids. Um, Kendall Bronk said she actually advises parents to reflect on their own purpose in life and share that with their children. Share their own purpose with their children, and then ask their children questions about what they want to accomplish and what they're good at and what do they see their purpose as. She offers an online purpose toolkit. Maybe I'll put a link in the underneath above the video somewhere. I'll put a link to her online purpose toolkit for adolescents. And she also suggests parents ask their kids what contribution they'd most like to make, and then how help them get started with or without financial assistance. So I don't know. Why don't we try this week? And let's just do a little purpose check in. Ask yourself the question, what is missing in the world right now that I might be able to fill in the gap, that I might be able to offer? And then take one step towards that contribution. Again, maybe it's volunteering, maybe it's writing someone a note and telling them how much they mean to you. Maybe it's planting something beautiful that will outlive you. Like in the study that they did at Cornell, there's one young woman who used her $400 to plant a persimmon tree on her campus so future students could pick the fruit and eat it. I mean, she's going to be long gone from the campus before it bears fruit, but she said, quote, "It just made me feel that my idea mattered and could make a difference." And isn't that what we all want? To know that our ideas and our presence here matters and can make a difference. So maybe this is the new path to happiness and true success. Stop trying to feel happy and instead focus on making other people happy. Stop chasing validation from the outside and instead follow what lights you up on the inside. Because when we align with our purpose, whether it's caring for our families or helping other people grow or healing the planet, happiness isn't something we have to find. It will find us. And you know what? Why don't we just do it every day? Upon awakening, every day ask, what contribution do I want to make today with my time, my energy, my heart, and our one precious life? And then go make it. Because in doing that, you'll find not only your happiness, you'll actually find your why. So that's it for this week. So much love to you. I'll see you next week, which is Dia de los Muertos. So maybe I'll comment on that. Who knows? But have a great week, making a difference and doing something meaningful on purpose. Bye for now.